Hey guys, Dr. Barrington here with Design to Move. So today we're talking about rib dysfunction, pain that can come from ribs. So oftentimes the signs and symptoms can be pain with deep breathing, and usually it's kind of either in the front right here, or it can be right in the back, kind of shoulder blade kind of area. Sometimes you'll have neck pain, sometimes you even get radiating arm pain going down your arm. This can be one of those kind of scary signs and symptoms. You might be worried that it's something really bad going on, and if you're super worried about that, by all means get it checked out. But sometimes it can be as simple as a rib that's just not moving well. So we're going to go through kind of what this looks like, how ribs actually move. So whenever you breathe, your rib, I always like to use a bucket handle analogy. So imagine my hand is the spine here. We'll show you on this little skeleton right here. The ribs go from the back to the front, right? And what they do is whenever you inhale, they actually have this kind of bucket handle kind of movement here. Let's see if we can get this sign right. So it essentially just wobbles up and down when you breathe, right? So ribs, just like all the other joints, can actually have an issue where they're not moving well, and we call it a segmental dysfunction. It's just a joint that doesn't move well, that causes pain, discomfort, and there's usually some muscle spasm around it. So with the ribs, the joint we're talking about is right up in here. See where that vertebra meets this rib right here? This is called the costovertebral joint right here. And there's just a little tiny bit of movement right here. So I'm going to move the rib a little bit. So I'm just pulling on that rib. You can see that joint just kind of barely move right in there, right? And you have muscles between the ribs here. This is the same kind of muscle whenever you eat ribs. It's that intercostal muscle, and then you have some more superficial muscles that actually go and they attach on the ribs, and they go all the way up, oftentimes into the neck. So this is why sometimes you'll get that neck pain that's associated with rib pain. Sometimes you'll get that muscle spasm where you're walking around and you're like this, and you can't move your head, and you don't know why you can't go this way and why you can't turn this way. It could be because of that muscle spasm you have going on in there. So we're going to show you kind of exactly what that muscle looks like. I'm going to borrow a little bit of KT tape from myself to show y'all what this looks like here. So I got my spine set up there. I got a little bit of tape here. This is really good stuff for kind of helping pain and discomfort. Not the best thing for showing muscles, but we're going to see how it looks. So these muscles are actually more under the shoulder blade, but I'm going to show them just a little more lateral just so we can see them. And it literally attaches. First off, there's some that go, the iliocostalis muscles. Some of them come from the top of the ilium and come all the way up on to the ribs like this, right? And this is the iliocostalis muscle group. They also continue on from here underneath the shoulder blade, attaching onto the ribs like this. So you can get a little better view there. So they're kind of right up there pulling on the ribs, right? And then this branch in the middle back called the iliocostalis thoracis, big long name for like the backstrap muscle if you're a hunter, right? It goes on the ribs and it goes all the way up actually into the side of the neck here. So just to show you, again, this muscle, I'm doing it a little kind of more towards the inside that it really is, but it comes all the way up into the neck from the ribs down here and attaches into the vertebra of the neck. So this is one of those, I usually have to kind of pull the shoulder blade over to the side to get into this muscle and work it. But 9 times out of 10, when I have someone who their head's stuck like this, they can't turn, and that's their main symptom. Maybe they slept funny, they woke up funny. It's coming from this muscle spasm right here, the iliocostalis thoracis, or the iliocostalis cervicalis, which goes all the way up into the neck there. And the way to work it is actually to come in and get an adjustment, which is where I'm actually going to physically move these rib joints. So I'm going to show you all kind of what that looks like. There's a couple different ways to do the adjustment in that area. My favorite way is using my hands because I am a chiropractor and it's fun to use my hands. But sometimes I will use an instrument, so I'm going to show you all kind of what the instrument looks like. So first of all, we'll get the patient in position. All right, sir, Indiana Bones, go ahead and lay face down. All right, so he's going to lay face down on the table here. Oh. Now keep in mind, I would be wearing a face mask, right? The table would have a face paper thing on there, right? we're just kind of showing you guys. So on these little joints right here, basically, whenever I'm palpating them, I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to poke on it with my fingers, and I'm going to see, okay, how well does this joint move? I'm going to wag it a little bit and just kind of poke in there. Now, if I find a joint that's restricted, if it's not moving well, it's going to be super tender. It's going to be sore to the touch. There's usually going to be that muscle spasm around there, and that gives me an idea, hey, this is a joint that probably needs to move. And if I can get it moving with a little adjustment and you feel better, then hey, we're doing a good thing here. I got to fix Indiana Bones' legs because they were going all kinds of crazy. Here you go, that's better. All right, so we're going to show you with a little adjusting tool. So this, it's called a cat adjusting tool. It's just a little tool that I use for some people who can't handle a manual adjustment. Maybe you're older in age. Maybe you have some other kind of issues that worry me about doing a manual adjustment. Maybe you're a little kid or a little baby who can't handle kind of a full force kind of treatment. So with this, what I'll do is I find where this thing moves and I find where it doesn't move. And when I want to do my treatment, I take this little tool right here, I go right on the rib joint and I thrust. Just like that. And this sounds kind of rough, but it's actually not too bad. And I'm usually doing kind of upward joint because it's distracting that joint right there. Just creating a little bit of movement right in there at that costovertebral joint. Now, if I'm going to do it manually, I usually like to flip the patient over, and it's kind of more of a bear hug kind of maneuver. So with that one, they're actually going to be laying on their back. I wrap my arms around them, and I put my hand right at the base of the rib right here. And again, shoulder blade would be out of the way. And I'm going to put a little pressure on there while I'm giving them kind of a squeeze from the front, and they'll feel kind of a little clicking when that rib moves, right? So this will actually help usually immediately relieve some of that neck pain, some of that arm pain, and help them feel way better and get improved range of motion, okay? So I'm going to get it moving here by doing a little bit of adjustment. I'll do some soft tissue work, usually a little bit of stretching. Sometimes I'll use my little, percussor massager just to work on these guys and loosen up those back muscles a little bit, right? So you're working all the way up and down the spine in here, loosening these guys up. The next thing we do is prevention, right? So it's kind of managing it at home. So I like lacrosse balls. So for the lacrosse ball, all you're gonna do, you take this thing, and these are great. I love them because they're $2. They are really good about releasing muscles because, let's be honest, muscles are not smart. All you got to do to release a muscle is hold a little bit of pressure on there for 30 seconds to a minute, and it's going to really make that guy ease up. So we're going to come over here. You take this lacrosse ball, and you stick it between your shoulder blades. You start up top like this. I'm going to put it behind my back. I'll see if I can get a view on that. So it's literally hanging out back there, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it drop down a little bit, and I'm going to move my arm over and across my chest like this. Boom. That gets that shoulder blade out of the way so that lacrosse ball can be back there getting some work done right on that muscle. And then you start kind of rolling around looking for tender and sore spots on the muscle. If you find a spot that's sore, you hold pressure 30 seconds to a minute. Now, I recommend you usually get adjusted first before you start this if you have a rib issue, because I don't want you just poking on that rib with that lacrosse ball, because instead of feeling better when you're done, you're going to just feel worse when you're done when you do that. But preventatively, after a treatment, these things are golden, right? Working on those muscles and just holding pressure on the tender spots for 30 seconds to a minute will really give you a lot of relief, right? The other preventative thing I'd like you to do are rows. So we're going to show you all some, just basic rowing things you can do. This is something I see pretty common on ladies because they tend to have a little more weight kind of in front of their body, kind of pulling them forward like this a little bit. So the way to treat it is to bring your back like this, and that takes the pressure off of those rib joints, right? So let me get y'all all set up here. I went and got Starbucks just for this so I can leave my camera on it. So what you're gonna do, you can get yourself some stretchy band. You can, first off, make a little W. So you wrap your arms like this, bring your shoulders back and down, and make a W. Oh, don't break it though. Okay, one more time. Make a W, go out like this to the side, right? Just like that, stretching that muscle. You can do a little rowing activity. Let me get a better band. That one is done. Here's a good one. So you can do a bent row where you literally step on it, and all you do is you go down like this, and you kind of, let me get right here so you can see, you're hinging at the waist, and you're pulling back like this, right? So you're literally, you can do the same thing with a dumbbell, you can do it with a strap. You're keeping your back straight, and you're rowing, right? I love this bent row because it really gets in there. It forces you to learn how to hinge your back muscles a little bit and focuses on getting that retraction of the shoulder blades. You do that 10 reps, 3 sets. That's a really great one for prevention. If you have access to a dumbbell, in my case I have a kettlebell here, you can do a kettlebell row. You get down in a little squatting position, right? Keep your back straight, and you're pulling back and down like this, all right? You can do one side at a time, just to ultra focus on those muscles back there, getting that extension of the spine, core stability, and strengthening the shoulder muscles there. Those are some great ones. The last thing I have for rib issues is a foam roller. I love these things. So a couple different options here. No joke, I had a patient give me this the other day. It's really cool. So you have these black high density foam rollers. These are the best bang for your buck because they're like $10. You have the trigger point foam rollers. These are pretty good too, but they're more about, you know, 25, 30 bucks. But when you're gonna do this, you just lay on the ground and you foam roll your back. This is that traditional laying right on the foam roller, getting a little bit of rolling going on. So let me get this set up right here. Here we go. All right. So for this one, all you do, lay on your back. You tuck your arms across your chest, and you're gonna roll. Just like this. You'll get some popping and cracking. And you roll around. And this just helps to keep everything moving in here, get you all loosened up. You can support your head if you want to. I actually prefer just to have a little chin tuck and keep my arms across my chest because it opens up that area of the spine a little bit. But yeah, that's about it as far as that rib dysfunction, right? So again, you'll usually feel pain back here. You usually have some neck pain too. And then it's one of those things that we can help a lot of people with this. And it's a full strategy. You know, you got to get the adjustment. You got to get that moving better. You have to do some soft tissue work to help loosen up the muscles, and you have to strengthen to help prevent the slouched posture that's, you know, causing that rib dysfunction. You can also get this after, like, if you've had like a respiratory issue where you've been coughing a lot, or even people who've been, you know, sick, they've been throwing up a little bit, because that actually recruits these same muscles that go on the spine. But anyway, one of those things that we can definitely work on here in the office. As an evidence-based chiropractor, I basically want to do trials of care to see how good I can get you, right? So if you're not improving with therapy, I'll send you to somewhere you need to or get advanced testing done. But the whole idea is trials of care. So we'll do a couple trials of care, you know, maybe 6-visit trial or less for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, just seeing how you do. If you're not improving, then if we're going down the wrong trail, we'll change your therapy, or we'll send you for some advanced imaging, figure out what's going on, right? Now, I can't cure like issues, you know what I mean? I'm here to help you get better, right? If it's something that I can't fix, I'll send you to where you need to go get it fixed. Some things are chronic though. So sometimes people have pains that I can't get 100% better. Maybe I can get them 75% better. And they might go into that chronic pain, kind of needing some preventative care every once in a while. You know, once they start to feel kind of tight and sore, they might need to come in and get a treatment. We might not ever get them 100%, but we might get them pretty dang close. So it depends. Some people, we can get them better real fast. Some people, they need some chronic care. And some people, we might not be able to help, and we'll send you where you need to go. But anyway, that's how we work. So we'll do an exam. We'll figure out if we can help you or not. We'll do a trial of therapy. We'll see how you do. If you're getting better, boom, good. If you're getting a little better, but you still have some more results I think you can get, we'll continue on a little longer. If we're not getting an improvement, we're going to send you to where you can get the problem fixed. Anyway, that's it. You guys take it easy. Hope you enjoy the video. Feel free to like our Facebook page, comment. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. It's pretty exciting. I broke that band. That was kind of funny. Anyway, that's it. Y'all take it easy. Have yourself a great day. I'll be back in the office Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Y'all take it easy.